Good morning. 444 snuck up on me. Didn't get past me, but it snuck up on me. Oh dear. I chuckle at myself sometimes because I get so focused and lost in reading something that, you know, time lately gets away from me. Sometimes I don't even remember which day of the week it is. I have to stop and think because it all just seems to flow together for me. Anyway, the title for today is Stopping the Human Slave Trade of the Multinational Corporations. The more I learn about the One People's Public Trust and its implications, the more excited I get. There is a network of men and women spanning the globe that are working together to liberate humanity from the deception and ignorance that has resulted in the creation of a matrix that enslaves everyone on earth. Because of the awakening, we are remembering who we are, and this bodes very well for all that choose to see as well as those still in darkness. The invisible chains that have bound us have been cut lawfully and legally through the Uniform Commercial Code under which all banks, multinational corporations, and governments have been operating. These fictional institutions and the actors therein, in violation of their fiduciary responsibility and duty, have been foreclosed upon. The human slave trade is being stopped. Stay alert. Much is happening. Check this out, and I have a link that will be as part of the description of this video that you can check out for yourself that gives you more information than what I'm even going to attempt to give you in the short time that I will be talking this morning. I did join the call last night on Freedom Reigns, which is I guess it's now going to be a Monday night, a regular Monday night call in which Lisa Harrison and a whole bunch of other people around the world are working together along with Heather and those that are putting forth the One People's Public Trust, and they're coming out with a notice, a courtesy notice to people. I will probably be using that as well in my lawsuit in federal court against PNC Bank and the local courts and judges and attorneys that have been trying to steal my land for a long time. But the applications are wide in their possibilities. I mean, virtually everything that has been part of the slave trade and the unlawful activities of our governments against their own people are being remedied and being addressed. And these people are no longer going to be able to hide. They are now no longer lawfully able to hide behind limited liability corporations. They must be held accountable and take full responsibility, unlimited liability. No limited liability, unlimited liability for their actions. Again, these individuals are playing roles as actors. They are human beings, just like you and me. They are human beings, but they are playing a role in which they are actually operating human slave trade. They're committing a crime against humanity, and as long as humanity was asleep, they were able to get away with it. Humanity is no longer asleep, and they know that, and they have been served notice, but they have been also breaking their fiduciary responsibility because governments and banks and corporations are set up as trusts to serve the public good, not to rob the people. They have breached their responsibility. They have breached their duty. They have breached their oaths. They have breached their charters. They have breached the structure under which they operate. But within the Uniform Commercial Code, there are remedies. There are always remedies in the law and at law. There are always remedies, and people are discovering these remedies and utilizing these remedies all over the planet to take back our freedom. Now, the problem, of course, is that still a majority of people on the planet don't even realize that they're slaves. They don't even realize, if they're working for the government, that they're committing unlawful acts. They don't realize that they're not really working for the government. They're working for privately owned corporations, as they've discovered in Australia and as they've discovered here in the US and Canada and England and all over the world. All of these nations are corporations operating for the benefit of a handful of people that think they have the right to own everything and own everybody and take possession of all the resources at will, whether anybody agrees with them or not. And they have manipulated the codes and everything under which they operate to get away with it. And they've gotten away with it for years, but they're not getting away with it anymore. The time has come when the gig is up for these people. The game is over, and they're being served notice as a courtesy. This isn't going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen that fast, and it can't, because it would be too big a shock for most people. It will come about step by step, day by day, week by week, and it will progress till the whole world is free. I hope it happens in 2013. I'm not telling you it's going to happen in 2013. I'm not going to give anybody ever any dates again. I don't believe I am anyway. That's not my intention, because we've dealt with dates. They come and they go and nothing appears to happen. And a lot of people just get the feeling of being let down and disappointed. And we don't need any more of that. We need to be uplifted. We need to learn to work together and stand together and learn as much as we can about who we are. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters if we don't know who we are. Nothing matters. If you don't realize that you are an eternal spirit living in a physical body, manifesting experience for yourself, and that this is for the purpose of gaining wisdom in all things, so that you know the height and the depth and the breadth of everything that is, and everything that can be, and even that which is not. You get to experience it all. That's why we've lived in a fictional world for so long, so that we would understand what truth is. We'd understand, because we have been enslaved, we'll understand and appreciate what freedom is. People that are free have no concept of what freedom is, because there's nothing to compare it to. That's why we've been given the gift of comparison, or the gift of contrast, so that we can compare this with that. We can say, oh, this doesn't feel right. Well, it doesn't feel right because it's not who you are. But you get to discover who you are not, so that you can heal that part of you that's been wounded by who you are not, and come into wholeness, and come into aliveness when you were dead. Come into seeing, even though you were blind. Again, we're prodigal sons and daughters of the living God, or of the Creator. We're sons and daughters of that which made us. We didn't make ourselves, and yet, in a sense, we did, because we participate in creation with the Father, with the Mother, with the God and Goddess. We participate in that creation. We are full participants, whether we are asleep or awake, ignorant or wise. We participate in our own lives, in our own experience, in the world that we live in. We create the matrix, and we have the ability, since we created it, to change it. And that's what's happening with the One People's Public Trust. That's why I have opted in. That's why I am excited about working with these people. That's why I am just absolutely blown away by what I see happening and the rapidity with which it's happening. Now, it may not seem like rapidity to those of you that are unaware, but I've been focused on this for a little while now, and I've been paying attention, and I encourage you to do the same. The depth of this thing is unbelievable. They have really, Heather, my hat's off to Heather for the work that she has done, and the work that others that are now working with her are doing. Lisa, thank you for putting these things out. Santos, thank you for speaking out on this subject. and on other subjects. And for those of you that don't believe it's anything, wake up. This is the lawful foundation. This is done in law. Now, I've been doing these things in my own life for a number of years now. And mostly the system ignores it. Well, it's going to get to the place, and I think it's probably pretty close to being there right now, where they're not going to be able to ignore it anymore, thanks to the work of the One People's Public Trust. I am part of that trust. I am one of the inhabitants of the one world. I am one of the people. So are you. Now we have the choice to opt in to the debtless society and the free society, or to not to opt in, which is opting out of it, and remain slaves and remain part of the debt-based system created by the multinational corporations and the international bankers. We have the choice. Right now, we have the choice. But the game plan, from my point of view, is very clear. This is the shift of the ages. This is the awakening of humanity. This is the time that we have all waited for, when we're going to be able to, with some degree of rapidity, establish heaven on earth, if you will, or at least establish freedom that leads to heaven on earth, with all of the inventions and all of the creativity and all of the natural resources of human beings coming into the fore and blossoming like flowers, like the lotus blossom opening up. That's what humanity is right now. It's like a lotus blossom opening up with all of its beauty and all of its grandeur, being finally able for people to see it if they will look in that direction. You have to look in the direction. If you're not looking in the right place, you're not going to see what I'm talking about. You're not going to understand it. It's got to resonate with your heart. And you've got to open your eyes and open your mind and think about what I'm saying. Folks, this is a game changer. This is something that is so powerful that we are actually being able to achieve what we've long wanted, peace on earth. We're going to be able to achieve it through the system, and it's not really a system, through the understanding that we're gaining. And it isn't understanding, and we're standing under our Creator as our Creator's children, men and women all over the planet. It doesn't matter what nation you're in, you're free if you want to be. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have challenges, because there will be challenges. There will be challenges for me and for others. There will be challenges, but we are being strengthened in our inner being if we want to be, if we choose that, if we are willing to take these steps that are necessary to liberate ourselves and to stop playing the game that keeps us in bondage to the corporations. Corporations are fictions, folks. They are limited liability fictions in which the people that run the corporations think they can escape accountability for their actions. Well, the die has been cast. The gig is up. And they can't get away with it anymore. They're going to be called on their crap. They're given time. They're given a courtesy notice. But they're going to be called by the people on their BS. They're not going to be able to keep getting away with it as they've always done, because we are waking up finally. And more people will be waking up. It will become exponential during this calendar year, I believe, during this calendar year, because the groundwork has been laid and the networks are being created, and people are contacting other people around the planet until everyone knows the truth that sets us free. This is where we are on February the 5th, 2013. This is where we are today. And we're moving at an ever-increasing pace, gaining momentum as we overtake the fraud and the deception and the corruption that have been our system of control that has controlled us and limited us so that we could not have full lives. I'm so excited about what I see happening right now with Gina, with the One People's Public Trust, with lots of things that are going on in the world. Folks, I love you, and it's such an honor to be able to share with you every day. I'm so excited about what's happening. We've done it, and we continue to do it, and that's a beautiful thing. Thank you for listening. Namaste. Oh, God, thank you.